Someone is following your location wherever you go because they want to get your secrets. Sounds like the plot of a thrilling espionage novel, doesn't it? But in today's digital age, it's not just fiction, it's a chilling reality for many individuals. With the advancement of technology and the widespread use of smartphones and other gadgets, our lives have become more interconnected than ever before. But along with the convenience comes the risk of privacy invasion, stalking, and surveillance. Please like and subscribe to my channel Seraphic Tales for more interesting videos. Imagine this scenario: you're going about your day, running errands, meeting friends, or simply enjoying a leisurely stroll in the park. Unbeknownst to you, someone is tracking your every move, monitoring your location through your smartphone's GPS or other tracking devices. They may be a stalker, a cybercriminal, or even government agency with ulterior motives. Whatever their intentions, the thought of being constantly watched and followed is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. In recent years, there have been numerous reports of individuals falling victim to location tracking and surveillance. From abusive partners using tracking apps to monitor their significant others to hackers infiltrating smartphones and stealing sensitive information, the possibilities for misuse are endless. But perhaps the most alarming aspect of this phenomenon is the lack of awareness among the general public. Many people are unaware of the extent to which their movements are being tracked and the potential consequences of this invasive surveillance. So, how can you protect yourself from being tracked and followed? The first step is to become more vigilant about your digital footprint. Check your smartphone settings regularly to see which apps have access to your location data, and revoke permissions for those you don't trust. Consider using privacy-focused browsers and search engines that don't track your online activity. Always be cautious when sharing personal information online, whether it's through social media, email, or messaging apps. But what if you're already being tracked? In that case, it's essential to take immediate action to safeguard your privacy and security. Start by conducting a thorough audit of your digital devices to identify any suspicious apps or software. Remove any tracking apps and malware, and update your device's security settings to prevent future intrusions. If you suspect that someone is physically following you, don't hesitate to seek help from law enforcement or a trusted authority figure. Of course, not all forms of location tracking are malicious or harmful. In some cases, it can be used for legitimate purposes, such as finding lost or stolen devices, tracking fitness goals, or improving navigation services. However, the key is transparency and consent. Companies and organizations should be upfront about their data collection practices and give users the option to opt out if they so choose. Unfortunately, this isn't always the case, and many individuals unknowingly consent to having their location tracked without fully understanding the implications. In the age of social media influencers and digital content creators, the line between privacy and publicity has become increasingly blurred. People willingly share intimate details of their lives online, from their daily routines to their innermost thoughts and feelings. But what happens when this openness is taken advantage of by those with nefarious intentions? The consequences can be dire, ranging from identity theft and financial fraud to physical harm and emotional distress. Now, you may be wondering, why would anyone want to track my location? The answer lies in the value of personal data. In today's data-driven economy, information is power, and your location data is a valuable commodity. Companies use this data to target advertisements, personalize user experiences, and analyze consumer behavior. Governments use it for law enforcement purposes, national security, and public health initiatives. Hackers use it for extortion, blackmail, and other illicit activities. But perhaps the most insidious use of location tracking is for surveillance and control. In authoritarian regimes, dissidents and activists are routinely monitored and tracked by government agencies in an attempt to silence dissent and maintain power. In democratic societies, mass surveillance programs are justified in the name of national security, but they often infringe on the rights of citizens to privacy and freedom of expression. The proliferation of surveillance technology, from facial recognition software to drone surveillance, has raised concerns about the erosion of civil liberties and the rise of a surveillance state. As we navigate this brave new world of constant connectivity and digital surveillance, it's crucial to strike a balance between convenience and privacy, between security and freedom. We must demand greater transparency and accountability from companies and governments regarding their data collection practices. We must advocate for stronger privacy laws and regulations to protect our fundamental rights in the digital age. Above all, we must remain vigilant and informed about the risks and implications of location tracking and surveillance. The thought of someone following your location wherever you go is not just a paranoid delusion, it's a sobering reality in today's hyper-connected world. Whether it's a stalker, a cybercriminal, or a government agency, the threat of invasive surveillance is ever present. But by taking proactive steps to protect our privacy and security, we can mitigate these risks and reclaim control over our digital lives. So, the next time you reach for your smartphone or step out into the world, remember to tread carefully, for you never know who might be watching. Now, before we delve deeper into the intricacies of digital privacy and security, I'd like to take a moment to ask for your support. Creating content that raises awareness about important issues like these takes time, effort, and resources. If you found this article informative and thought-provoking, please consider supporting my work by liking this article and subscribing to my channel, Seraphic Tales, for more interesting videos on topics ranging from technology and society to culture and politics. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continue to create content that educates, entertains, and inspires. With that said, let's dive back into the topic at hand, the perils of location tracking and surveillance. As we've discussed, The ubiquity of smartphones and other connected devices has made it easier than ever for individuals and organizations to monitor our movements and activities. But what exactly are the implications of this pervasive surveillance? And what can we do to protect ourselves in an increasingly digitized world? One of the most immediate concerns regarding location tracking is the potential for stalking and harassment. Whether it's an abusive partner, a disgruntled ex-employee, or a random stranger with malicious intent, the ability to track someone's whereabouts in real time poses a significant threat to personal safety. In extreme cases, this type of surveillance can escalate to physical violence or even homicide. That's why individuals need to be vigilant about their digital security and seek help if they feel threatened or unsafe. Another major issue with location tracking is the erosion of privacy and autonomy. Every time we use our smartphones to navigate, check in at a location, or share our whereabouts on social media, we're voluntarily surrendering a piece of our privacy. This information can be used by companies to target us with advertisements, by governments to monitor our activities, and by hackers to exploit vulnerabilities in our digital defenses. The more we rely on technology to navigate the world, the more vulnerable we become to exploitation and manipulation. National security. This dystopian vision may seem like something out of a sci-fi novel, but the reality is that we're already seeing glimpses of it in today's society. Mass surveillance programs, facial recognition technology, and predictive algorithms are increasingly being used to monitor and control populations, often under the guise of maintaining public order and safety. In China, for example, the government has implemented a vast surveillance system known as the social credit system, which tracks citizens' behavior and assigns them a social credit score based on their actions. Those with low scores may be denied access to certain privileges, such as travel visas, loans, or even employment opportunities. This system not only incentivizes conformity, but also punishes dissent, effectively stifling freedom of expression and individuality. Similarly, in democracies around the world, governments are expanding their surveillance capabilities in the name of counterterrorism and crime prevention.